Hello, St. Mary's. We are on our last chapters of Zoey and Sassafras. What an amazing book. Are you ready to begin the end of the story? Okay, here we go. I need to switch my screen. Chapter 14. Oh my, this is upside down. Oh no, no it is not. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Mom walked me out to the barn with her arm around me. I had hoped I could handle all of this on my own. I wanted to impress my mom with a healthy dragon. Instead, she was going to see a sick dragon that I hadn't been able to help. We walked into the barn and I stopped. I rubbed my eyes. Whoa! Marshmallow was walking around. He had bright eyes, and he was at least twice as big as he'd been this morning. How did that happen? Dragons must grow really quickly. Sassafras was about to walk into the pen, but froze. I think he was also shocked to see how big our little guy had gotten. Marshmallow trotted over the nuzzled Sassafras, who purred loudly. The two of them jumped around and played while I stared in awe. Mom squeezed me in a big hug. Zoey, I'm so proud. You kept trying even when these things got hard. How about we leave these two play and see if we can convince your dad to part with some more fish? Just like that, the day went from awful to wonderful. I did it. Even though I had made some mistakes along the way, I helped Marshmallow. Chapter 15, Learning to Fish. Sassafras and I were out in the barn playing with Marshmallow. Only a few days had passed, but Marshmallow was about the size of a horse. Sassafras liked to jump on his back between his wings. Then Marshmallow would run in circles around the pen until Sassafras started to fall and jumped off. Marshmallow always stopped to sniff and make sure Sassafras was all right. I wanted to remember the way that they played together forever. Oh, I had never taken my photo of Marshmallow. I dashed off to get the camera and got an action shot of the two of them together. Mom came into the barn and looked at this photo of Sassafras riding Marshmallow. At first, she laughed a lot, but then she got quiet. Marshmallow getting awfully big, Zoey. Marshmallow's getting awfully big, Zoey. I sucked in a big breath. I knew what she was going to say next, and I didn't want to hear it. I know this part is hard, but a dragon isn't meant to live in a barn. He's meant to be free. I nodded and kept looking down. If I looked up at Marshmallow, I was sure I'd start crying. I guess he'd have more fun flying around and exploring the forest, I mumbled. And he might not even fit in the barn much longer. Saying goodbye was going to stink. Once Sassafras was done dragon riding, we all headed for the forest stream. Mom wanted to teach Marshmallow how to catch fish. When we got to the stream, Marshmallow seemed nervous. Rather than check out the stream, he snuggled up behind me and put his big head on my shoulder. Sassafras hates getting wet, so he hid behind Marshmallow. Mom rolled up her pants and splashed around in the water. Marshmallow, the stream won't hurt you. It's really fun. See? After a few minutes, Marshmallow's curiosity got the best of him. He joined her in the water. Next, she showed him that there were fish in the stream. Once he realized that, he really loved the stream. He spotted a fish in the water and tried to catch it, but he missed and ended up with a mouthful of stream water. Don't give up, Marshmallow. You can do it, Sassafras and I cheered. Marshmallow kept trying and finally caught one. After the first taste of success, he got much faster at catching fish. He even brought a little fish to Sassafras, who purred loudly in thanks. I was rolling up my pants to join the fun when Sassafras started meowing like crazy. He stared at the bushes nearby. I stood very still and watched. A blue dragon head slowly peeped out of the bushes. It looked about the same size as Marshmallow. Come on, sweet girl, I cooed. The dragon kept her eyes on me as she took a few small steps forward. The splashing behind us stopped. I looked over my shoulder, and Marshmallow and Mom were both frozen, watching the new dragon. Then Marshmallow let out the most beautiful sound. It sounded like a cat's purr, only louder and more like a song. Maybe dragons purr when they're really happy. The new dragon's eyes lit up, and she purred right back. She trotted into the stream and sniffed Marshmallow. They twisted their necks around each other in greeting and purred even more. Something about the way her blue tail moved was so familiar. Was she the friend who brought baby Marshmallow to our barn and disappeared into the bushes? The blue dragon took a few steps toward the forest. She looked back and called out to Marshmallow. She wanted him to come with her. My heart dropped. I was going to have to say goodbye to my dragon. Marshmallow took a step to follow her, then stopped. He came bounding over up to us and nuzzled my mom and Sassafras. Then he rested his head on my shoulder. I wrapped my arms around his warm, strong neck. I blinked back tears. Goodbye, Marshmallow. Be a good dragon. I gave him a gentle nudge toward the new dragon. He looked at me one last time. Go ahead. It's okay. I waved him on. Before I could change my mind, they both leaped into the air. The forest filled with the beautiful noise of two happy dragons. The sound was so pretty that it was hard to be sad. My mom moved to my side and wrapped me in a hug. Look how healthy and happy he is. That's because of your help. I nodded and couldn't help but smile as I watched them spin and dive through the air until they were nothing more than specks in the sky. Chapter 16, Smoke. I cleaned out Marshmallow's pen while Sassafras watched. It looked so empty without our little dragon bounding around. Even Sassafras was lonely. We all really missed Marshmallow. I sniffed back another wave of tears. Wait a minute, I sniffed. Do you smell smoke, Sassafras? Where's it coming from? Sassafras pawed at the barn door and meowed. Oh no, was something burning outside? We must burst out of the barn to find Mom. We burst out of the barn to find Mom, standing by a fire in our backyard fire pit. She held 2 sticks and a bag of marshmallows. She smiled. Roasted marshmallows seemed like an appropriate way to celebrate your success with our dragon friend. We cuddled up by the fire, telling stories about the little guy laughing. I ate 5 or 6 marshmallows and then went to grab another one. But then I remembered how Marshmallow felt after eating the plate of marshmallows. I set my roasting stick down and enjoyed the fire. I'd skip the stomachache. After we headed in for the night, I went to my bedroom. Sassafras jumped up on my desk, and nosed my science notebook. It fell open to the blank page. I laughed and snuggled him up. Oh, Sassafras, I know how you feel. I can't wait to meet our next magical friend either. What an amazing end to an amazing story. I hope you enjoyed it. Zoey and Sassafras. The end.